are you, buddy?
Hey man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I do miss having you here in person because you often show up in sartorial splendor. Did you dress up at all for us today?
Uh, no, not really. Just sort of a green shirt today. You know what I thought what I thought you were going to say is I thought you were going to say you miss my hugs.
I do miss your hugs, but mostly while I'm hugging you, I just want to have your style. What a very well-appointed office, though. Is it safe to say you're in an office right now?
I'm actually not in an office.
Are you in a closet?
Yeah, this is my. I'm not that opulent. No, it's like it's like a TV room, basically, like a media room.
I want to ask this question. You obviously, none of us, I'm not dressed up either for this because we're living in a time where a lot of the standards are lower. I know you just celebrated an 11th wedding anniversary. Is a celebration like that during a pandemic, does it take the pressure off a little bit because you cannot, obviously roll out the red carpet?
Yeah, totally. No, it's an opportunity to kind of be like, well, I guess I can't. We can't really do anything for this. It's sad to think of that as an opportunity. No, we kept it very simple. I mean, I think last time I was on there, actually, we talked about my wife and I's 10th anniversary trip.
Which was a bit of a, I guess, a boating mishap, right? Like you were outdoors, you were doing all the things we used to do. And let's be honest, this year went probably better for you.
Yeah, well, anything where I'm not throwing up off the back of a boat is much better for me.
You're in California right now, which is based on everything you see and hear, a very hot place to be right now. Maybe a little bit of a scary place to be right now. How are you? I know your kids are 8 and 6. How are they handling school? How are you guys getting through it?
I mean, everybody's taking it in stride. I mean, look, I can't complain. I'm financially stable, so there's people in far worse situations than I'm in. You're right, though. California does seem to be on fire. I can't seem to stop my eyes from watering. I'm assuming that's because of the fires. Either that or it's I'm crying about something that I'm subconsciously unaware of.
Super repressed thing is coming out during this time.
That's possible. That's possible. No, we're teaching our kids at home, kind of splitting our days between teaching the kids and trying to get our own work done, and just kind of riding this thing out. It's not so bad. I mean, I luckily I actually like my wife. We enjoy each other's company, so.
That's good. I'm finding the same. It's a very nice thing to realize, like, oh, we're doing good with all this time, which is very, very nice to find out. How are 8 and 6 insofar as they can handle attention spans of doing school right now?
That has been a struggle for sure, because especially the kindergartner. I mean, he's very fidgety guy. He's active. He's very social. He wants to be moving around and stuff, and Zoom is not really conducive to that. And if my kids are, I mean, they do okay, but they're also a little bit the kind of kids that would like sit in the back of the class and like hope that the teacher doesn't ever call on them or notice them, which is a lot easier to pull off when you're on Zoom. As a matter of fact, actually, the other day I looked in the playroom, which is where my kindergartner is doing Zooms. And the Zoom call was happening and I could hear it. And I looked in there and he was just like draped across the chair, like in a Superman pose, like not paying attention to the Zoom at all. Just like I don't know what he was doing, but he was not doing school.
Oh, it's good. It's good to give kids room to make their own choices. This is very exciting. I think both you and I are excited and delighted that there even is a season 3 of AP Bio. For those who don't know, it was an NBC show that then got picked up on NBC's new streaming service, Peacock. And you guys had shot 8 episodes of 10 when this hit. Do you remember that day, like when the decisions were being made? Because they were being made pretty quickly.
I remember there was a lot of talk about it. I remember we were a little stressed about being able to finish 8. Because I remember thinking, if we can get 8 out, I think you can release 8 episodes and it almost feels like a full season of television. So luckily we were able to get that done. I was also in the middle of, I think, editing the episode that I had directed a couple weeks prior. So I was in the middle of editing that, and then, things shut down, and, there was part of me that at the time I was like, oh, well, this would be a good opportunity to just like rest because I'm tired.
Yeah.
But luckily we got 8 good episodes out before we.
It's a delight to watch. One of the most jarring things about watching it right now is that it takes place in a high school, and I'm wondering if that is refreshing for people to look at a school where no one is worried about things like social distancing, or if it is like a horror movie to just watch people touching each other and bumping into each other in the hallways. I personally find it the former, obviously.
Yeah, it's strange because you see that, and it seems like such strange behavior now to see like kids like people talking face to face and hugging each other and being in proximity with each other without wearing masks. So it's both like horrifying and also like you pine for it at the same time. I don't know that there's too many things you could watch where you're both horrified by it and you pine for it at the same time.
You have this incredible supporting cast with Patton Oswalt, obviously Paula Pell. One of the things that's really fun about this season is you spend more time in the classroom. This is one, it's one of those shows where it's 3 seasons, but it's the same kids in the classroom, and there's a really nice chemistry with you guys. It must be fun to, not only get to know the characters better and know how to react to them, but to get to know the actual actors as well.
Oh God, I adore this cast. I'm the luckiest man in the world. Like, I love working with these people. I get to laugh all day long. I mean, every single, all the students, all the other teachers, everybody is a scene stealer, and I mean that in a good way. Like they're all so funny, and it tickles me. I'm having a blast. And the kids, especially because they were younger actors, it's been really fun to watch them get more and more confident as in the 3rd season. I mean, they came in so sure of themselves, and that just makes them more comfortable and funnier, and you can kind of riff and improv with them and stuff. They've just been amazing.
You are one of our most excellent thespians when it comes to playing likable jerks. And I mean that sincerely, and Jack on this show is. But, over the course of the series, and certainly more this year, like, he seems to like where he is more and like the people he's around more. Is that more fun to play, or do you enjoy the more irascible where he started?
I think it's been more fun for me because it allows me to play notes that I haven't been able to play as an actor very much. My other character on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is in no way, shape, or form warm.
Yeah.
So to get to play that is nice, and it's also nice because it creates a lot of conflict for the character, because my character still really wants to think of himself as this elitist Hollywood philosopher, but he's slowly being faced with the fact that maybe he could be happy with just being a hometown Toledo boy, which is also his worst nightmare. So there's this great tension, within the character, that he wants to be one thing, but he feels something else and he can't quite give into it. So, but he's definitely I think he's really growing close to these kids and to the other faculty, and he really loves these people. And it's fun to play that he can't admit it.
You mentioned Dennis, and it's incredible to say, but it's looking very likely now that there is going to be a 15th season of Always Sunny, which is just, it continues to be an incredible accomplishment, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be noted. So congratulations on that as well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, we're very lucky. Hopefully the show is now at a point where it just kind of feels ubiquitous. It just is,
Yeah.
And always will be. I think there are some people who, I've met kids that are like, I started watching your show when I was in junior high. And I'm like, dude, you're 30.
Right.
The show's been on a long time.
It's very funny to think of 60 Minutes in the same class as Always Sunny, which is just like, yeah, I think that show's it's on. Hey, man, always great to see you. Love to the family, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope we get to. I want to give you one of my warm, bodily hugs at one point.
One of those classic hugs. Thanks so much.
With classic hugs. Good to see you, man.